Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. The German government under Angela Merkel becomes more and more authoritarian. Every week we can see how the pressure on people who have different ideas than her and her government is increasing. They are cracking down hard on dissidents, on alternative voices, on alternative journalists and bloggers. And today I want to tell you about just the most recent scandalous case. It is really absolutely disgusting what the German state has done here. They are openly cooperating now with far left activists and dangerous people. And of course, they are collaborating with the mainstream media. And all these groups, you see, the far left, the mainstream media, and the German government, and the German judiciary, the state prosecutors and the judges, they all work together in order to silence minorities, in order to oppress dissidents. And in this video, excuse me, I will tell you, as always, first the facts, and then, very important, in the end, I want to tell you how you can help if you are a listener from abroad. I am really addressing now my audience in other countries but Germany, so my foreign followers, my listeners. You can profit from that. Your country might be able to profit from that, and you can help these dissidents in Germany at the same time. And I will tell you how in the end. Okay, let's start with the facts. There is a alternative independent journalist, also a right-wing blogger. He writes under the pseudonym Eugen Prinz. You know maybe that Prince Eugen was a general in the Holy Roman Empire, and he fought all across Europe, you might say, but especially on the Balkan against the Ottoman Empire, and he became somewhat of an iconic military leader. He was the military genius of his time in Europe, at least. All right, so this guy is called Hermann S. in real life. I can say that because it's all over the news now anyway. He has been doxxed. He has been doxxed by left-winged extremists. And so last Friday, the police, around noon, the article says, they rang his doorbell. He and his wife opened, and they saw kind of a special forces commando or something like that, so not ordinary cops at least, and they were pointing an automated weapon, an automatic weapon at him. And that is already, he's an elderly gentleman, well, not elderly, but maybe middle-aged gentleman and his wife, and they could have just asked him, about the issue. I'm sure he would have cooperated. He's a civil guy, I think. But they chose to treat him like a dangerous criminal or something. Then they arrested both of them, and they searched his house and confiscated a lot of his property. Now, what was the charge? Why did they do that? Okay, so you might have heard that lately in Germany, some politicians and also other people, they are getting not so nice letters, or emails, I should say. So emails are sent to them with insulting and threatening content. And these emails are signed by NSU 2.0. And that refers to a group of people, I think 3 people it was, who committed crimes throughout Germany. They say they were right-winged criminals, and they killed many people around Germany. And this is a reference to that, and these are intimidating, threatening, and insulting emails that are sent to them. And the authorities are trying to find out who sent these emails. And he was arrested now as a suspect in just that case. The thing is that he was questioned, or the arrest was made because of specifically 6 emails that were written in July. And the curious thing is these emails were signed not just with NSU 2.0, but with his full name, his telephone number, and his address. And bear in mind that, or I should add maybe, that he said that short time ago it started that he got huge pizza deliveries that he never ordered, and the typical pranks, you might say, these adolescent or children pranks that someone plays on you, like maybe on some professor or some teacher or whatever, some person he doesn't like. And I guess this is indicative of the fact that his docs got out, and his docs got into the hands of left-wing extremists. And first they played these pranks on him, and now they actually send these horrible emails with his name, phone number, and address. Yeah, and the police is stupid enough to, or well, I guess they know exactly that it wasn't him. I mean, who would write these emails and then put your name and your address under it, right? That makes a lot of sense. So everybody should know that it wasn't him, that someone is obviously trying to play like some kind of prank on him. But of course, the police and the prosecutors, they are taking this seriously. They're acting as if he is a real suspect. Yeah, so they're just taking this opportunity in order to intimidate this guy, in order to arrest him and to confiscate all his stuff. And the hope is, of course, that while they confiscate his computer and hard drives and all that stuff, recording devices, that they accidentally find something. And of course, he was previously, by the way, he's writing for the conservative patriotic blog PI News, and he also has some connections to the AfD. And this is, of course, how they, guilt by association. They want to construct some kind of a guilt by association scenario to target the AfD and also the blog he writes for. The article in the mainstream media also goes on to say that, oh, he is not an unknown person for law enforcement. He has been known as a right-wing perpetrator in the past. Has he really? Oh, there were some charges being made against him, and in all the cases, the prosecutor's office said that they will not go on trial because these charges are stupid. They're made up. There is no substance to them. But still, the media smears him as if he had done something. No, he was accused. He was falsely accused of things, and the prosecutor's office said this is not true. We are not even going to go to trial because this is bogus. This is what happened. Yeah, but the media, again, they want to smear him. They want to make him look like the bad guy. And also, they write that oh, he had weapons at home. Ooh, yeah. The truth is, he is a. I read that in another article that he is a athlete. He's a recreational or athletic shooter. Yeah, he's in a club or something, right? It does that as a hobby, and he has two perfectly legal, perfectly registered weapons at home. But the article says that his mother died a while ago, and in the inheritance were antique weapons, and he hasn't registered those antiques yet. I'm pretty sure he meant to do that. He hasn't done it yet. I mean, probably had other things to do, but these are antique weapons, and the actual weapons that he has registered. So to make it sound like he has some unregistered weapons at home and, stashing weapons at home, absolute nonsense. The weapons that he has, that he bought for himself, he has actually registered those. So this narrative is also completely false. So you see, they want to smear him with all kinds of stuff in the hope, so they're lying a lot in the hope that something might stick in the end, and that they can, first of all, they can intimidate him, they can maybe he's an ex-police officer, by the way, he's retired, and they have the hope now that he loses his pension over this, for example, yeah, and this is how they want to, yeah, how should I say that? They just want to bully these people. They want to use all the dirty little tricks in order to silence them, in order to drive them out of the country, or make them just not write articles anymore. Yeah. they say, for example, oh, many years ago he has published an angry letter in a newspaper. Ooh, yeah, these meaningless little things, these are not crimes. None of these things are wrongdoing of any in any way by any measure. This is just a pathetic attempt to smear an innocent man. So now I come to the end, and I will tell you guys what I want from you, or what I suggest to you. So I have a lot of listeners abroad, and I know that some of you come from countries that are always lectured by the EU and by Germany about the democracy deficit in your country, and how the courts and the prosecutor, how they're not independent of politics, and how your media isn't really free, and how the government is cracking down on independent voices and dissidents. Well, I suggest you collect the data. You look at the sources I link below. I'm sorry, it's all in German, but you can even forward this video if it helps. I know it's not the most eloquent, not most polished video, because I'm not at home at the moment, but try to find out everything you can about these cases. And there is also the AfD politician Peter Büstron from Bavaria. He's an actual refugee. He came to us as a refugee, and now he's an AfD politician. Okay, you can take all these cases, and I link them down below, and approach your conservative, patriotic, right-wing, nationalist, what have you, members of parliament. If you're from Hungary, if you're from Poland, if you're from Slovakia, from the Czech Republic, wherever, take these cases and make them known to your politicians, and then they can put pressure on Germany. Or the next time Germany tries to lecture your country, you can practice some whataboutism. Or you can tell Germany that, well, your country also isn't so hot at the moment when it comes to respecting minority rights, or the independent media, or, activists, journalists, and independent voices that are criticizing the government. This is what happens in Germany. You see, you criticize the government and the police comes kicking in your door. Well, they rung the doorbell, but you get the drift, right? So I'm not saying Germany is the same as Turkey already when it comes to intimidating and harassing journalists and undesirables in the courts, or in prosecutors, or in the military, wherever. Germany is not as bad as that yet, obviously, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And this is stuff, I think the level has been reached right now, where you can actually criticize that. Before that, it was minor. But, well, I would say the frequency and the amplitude and the intensity, has reached a level where you can definitely hold Germany accountable, where you can definitely criticize Germany for these things, and that could be to the benefit of your countries, of your patriotic parties abroad. Because I know Germany is very, they, how should I say that, paternalistic, or they're talking down to you there, trying to lecture you, trying to be the schoolmaster, trying to withhold EU funds from you. Now there is a big aid package that has been not decided yet finally, but there will be a lot of EU money will be distributed, and they already threatened your countries. They already said, oh, if you don't do these reforms, you're not getting any of the money. Well, you can give that right back to Germany. You can say, if you don't stop harassing independent journalists, why should you get any of the EU money then? So please, approach your members of parliament, approach your patriotic parties, your local representatives, what have you, and make these cases from Germany known to them. They must be aware of that. They can use that. All right? Okay. So I hope I could inform you. I hope I didn't forget anything. Maybe I will revisit this topic when we know more. He is, by the way, he's not in jail or prison or whatever. He is free again. He and his wife were released after being questioned, and it was said that they fully cooperate with the law. of course, they are acting like innocent people. I'm pretty sure they are innocent just because their name and address was under these emails. That is absolutely ridiculous. Nobody would do that. That is out of the question. To me, it's absolutely out of the question. Of course, I don't know 100%, but it's 99.999% clear to me that they are innocent. They're just using this as an opportunity to find some other dirt on them. Okay. And they have been doing that with others. Like, as I said, Peter Bistron, identitarians. Michael Stürzenberger is one of those guys, very critical of foreign ideologies, foreign religious ideologies. So there are many examples. Point this out to your politicians. All right, I will catch you guys again later, and take care. Servus, Kameraden.